Candice, good to see you, and thanks for your time as always. Now, give us a status update on the damaged state, according to the president.
Good evening, Suleiman, and to your viewers. Indeed, as you said, 435 lives lost. 54 people are missing at the moment, according to the president's address earlier this afternoon. We know that of the 435 people that have died, at least 57 children, and one teacher has been included in those lives lost. At least 5 kids in the 54 people that are missing are 5 scholars. And I mean, that's quite a heavy human tragedy, as the president called it earlier today. In addition to the lives lost, we're also seeing at least 5,700 homes that were completely destroyed and another 10,000 homes that were partially damaged by these heavy floods over the 5 days. Quite a significant amount of infrastructure that was also lost and damaged, as you're seeing on your screen. But quite a lot of devastation for both residents and for businesses in the area. The president did give us a bit of an overview, which was good for people to understand the significant state of the damage.
And Candice, you know, in terms of unpacked details, do you think enough has been done based on the president's report back?
So, I mean, I think what was really interesting was that the president divided his recovery plan into 3 phases. So for the first phase, we're focusing on the humanitarian aid, making sure that people have electricity, they have water, they have food, dignity packs, they've got blankets, they've got places to stay, especially those who are displaced. And I think that was one of the first most important parts of the recovery plan and of the relief program. Now we know that the president has instituted a state of disaster, a national state of disaster, and that means that the funds are actually coming from the National Relief Fund and not from the province. It's being coordinated from a national level. In the second phase, he was talking about what is called stabilization and recovery, and that's really rehousing people. He did give us a little bit of detail about the fact that people would be getting vouchers, they would be finding parcels of land that people could use to rebuild their homes. So that was a bit of detail that he gave us. There's also a grant that's being issued to people who need money over this time, who do need some sort of support. And in the third phase, he's talking about the reconstruction to the infrastructure. So he did give us a good plan. He also gave us what you spoke about earlier, is real-time audits that will take place to ensure that the money will be spent correctly. Now, there's been a lot of concern about corruption with relief projects, with stems even from COVID times where there was money that was spent incorrectly, and there's now a concern again that money would be spent incorrectly and corruptly in this time in terms of making sure that people have the relief that they need. So what he was talking about is relief, is real-time audits to make sure that they are spending the money properly. So a lot of detail did come out of the president's address, but I do think that there could be more that he could have given us more detail in terms of how, we are going to make sure people are comfortable in this time, in this difficult time for them.
And some South Africans have said that such concerns are well placed, even though the president thinks it's a shame that people would think of that. Let's go back to that briefing by the president. What was the reaction of the political parties thereafter?
So I think there was a mixed reaction from political parties, Suleiman. Some political parties are calling for the solidarity that the president is calling for, saying, it is a time, it's a national time of mourning, and that we do need to stand fast as a unit, in unity as a country, and make sure that we help the people who are in need. But there is a call for accountability. There's definitely a call from political parties saying that we do need to make sure that things are done in the way they should be done. They're saying that there's concern that infrastructure, for example, was built on floodplains. There's concern that houses are built on floodplains and that these are not being addressed. The fact that, KwaZulu-Natal, which is a province along our eastern coast in South Africa, has had significant floods before, up to 2010. And now 12 years later, we're seeing, what is the result of no action being taken. Another political party called for geological rezoning so that we don't build houses on floodplains going forward, and that people who do have their homes on floodplains do get some sort of financial assistance to relocate. So there are some calls for accountability and some hard questions being asked of the presidency, but I do think that there's a general sentiment that political parties do feel that we do need to support the country and support the government in their efforts to stabilize and to consider people who are displaced at this time.
All right, Candice, many thanks for your time. We'll stay on this.
Thanks, Lehman.